The first film is Daybreakers, set in the year 2019, where vampires have taken over the world and are hunting what's left of the human race for the blood. But as the blood is running out, the vampires start to devolve and turn into these demonic-looking creatures. However, one scientist, played by Ethan Hawke, starts befriending a group of humans who may have a solution. It's a very decent, it's a very interesting concept for a film, great storyline. At first I thought it'd make a better TV series because more could be done with the storyline and parts of the film could be spread out more, give it a slow pace rather than the filmmakers trying to fit everything into a 90-minute film. The film has a lot of jumpy scenes, gory scenes, people's heads exploding, that sort of stuff. Willem Dafoe plays a sort of elderly Hannibal King. He doesn't really play a huge part in the film, but he does tend to steal the scenes that he is in. My favourite quote is when the group of humans are talking about the cure for vampirism, and Dafoe says it's about as safe as barebacking a $10 hooker. Overall, it's a decent futuristic vampire flick with a great storyline, decent cast, and a good start to the year. The second film is The Road, based on the novel written by Cormac McCarthy with the same name. A very simple film about the father and his son trying to survive in a world full of cannibals and thieves. The whole movie just seems to revolve around this father and son bond. The father tends not to trust the strangers they meet, whereas the son tries to help them out. The film is very slow paced and doesn't really build any momentum at any point. The shots of the environment are really depressing. I mean, we have dead oceans, dead cities, dead forests. It seems that everything is dead, basically. It doesn't actually become clear as to how the world got so messed up. I've heard people bitching and complaining about this, but it just leaves it to your imagination. This is probably the saddest, most depressing movie which depicts the world's end. The ending is especially sad, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. The thing which makes this film something special is the acting from Viggo Mortensen and Kodi Smit-McPhee. I'm very surprised Viggo wasn't nominated for an Oscar for this. Jeff Bridges won Best Actor for his role in Crazy Heart, but I'll get that in a later video. Kodi Smit-McPhee also gave a powerful performance as the son, and Charlize wasn't bad too, considering she's only in, I think, 3 scenes in the film. Also, if you plan on seeing this film, probably on DVD by now, but look out for Robert Duvall, see if you can recognise him. Anyway, overall it's a very depressing film with incredible acting from everyone involved, and I recommend seeing another film after this because the ending will definitely make you cry. The third film is another post-apocalyptic movie, The Book of Eli. Now, I'd heard negative reviews about this film from Empire Magazine and IMDb, so I really wasn't expecting a great film, but I was very surprised. I thought it was great, good strong cast. Can't really see why people seem to hate it that much. I mean, I love post-apocalyptic movies, Children of Men being my favourite, this possibly being my second. The thing I like most about this film is the action. The first action scene takes place under a bridge. Everything's dark, you can see the silhouettes of the characters. Denzel's character Eli takes on about 6 guys with 2 swords. There's a dude with a chainsaw, all one big take, lasts about a minute. Brilliant choreography. The action at times may seem a little bit over the top. Eli seems to be indestructible. He takes on about 12 guys with just a single handgun, Even Gary Oldman's character in the film says that he's indestructible. Another thing that I really like is that money doesn't exist. They basically have to trade things in to get what they want, so Eli basically has to salvage anything he can find. I thought it was really funny that he has saved those KFC lemon wipes that you get. He uses them to trade in something equivalent to an iPod to get it charged. If I remember correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. The ending also came as a surprise to me. Did not expect the twist ending at all. Overall, I found it to be a very enjoyable film with with a good storyline, good script, and the action is filmed brilliantly. Now, I just want to say that it's great to see Mel Gibson back in front of the camera. The fact that Mel is in this film was actually what made me want to see it. I didn't really know what to expect, whether it'd be a drama, a mystery, a thriller, or even an action, but I can say that it has elements of all. It has some slow pacing throughout the film, some parts which may be a little bit hard to follow, but if you just sit back and try to absorb everything that's being said, you should get through it okay. Those scenes which are fairly slow paced, however, clash with other parts of the film which are very fast paced. The scene when Craven's daughter is shot, which happens pretty early in the film, blink and you'll miss it. It happens so fast. Another scene is when Craven is talking to his daughter's friend in the car. She opens the door and steps out, and then a car smashes her in the side. It's scenes like that, total contrast to the rest of the film, which I found to be the most enjoyable. Mel's acting is superb as usual. The seriousness in his eyes. Gibson brings the pain with a pistol or his eyes, and that's a quote from Empire magazine. It's a decent thriller film, slightly uneven but fairly enjoyable. Now, the last film I want to talk about is one which I did not think that I would see, and that's Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. I first heard about this film in Empire magazine in the independent movies section, part which I don't really pay much attention to because it's usually movies which don't interest me. Anyway, this particular film was given 5 stars by Empire, so it must be good. I read the review, sounded okay, but it's not really my type of film. One night I was bored, I had the YouTube search bar in front of me, didn't know what to search. I looked over at my corner and there was a stack of Empire magazines, so I said, Precious trailer. I watched the trailer, and after seeing it, I said to myself, I have to see this film. I went straight onto IMDb to find out when it would be released in the UK. That day I went on to Cineworld to find out the times that it was shown, and it wasn't shown in my local theatre. So I waited a week, then I waited another week, and eventually it started showing in the local Cineworld that I go to. So I ended up seeing it one night after college, and boy am I glad that I saw it. One thing that I was surprised at when walking into the theatre was the actual crowd. I didn't think many people would pay to see this film, but the place was packed. It was also interesting to hear the crowd reaction at parts of the film which are really sad or violent. For instance, when Clarice is fighting with her mother, played incredibly by Monique. Although it's meant to be a very sad film, there are scenes which will make you laugh. For instance, when Precious steals some Kentucky chicken from a shop and she starts running down the road. Then there's someone in Precious's class who sounds so unusual. She talks like, hey! God, that was a very bad impersonation anyway. Powerful performances from everyone, especially Mariah Carey and hot Paula Patton. If you enjoyed the trailer, then you're going to love the film like I did. Not much more to say really. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching. I know some of these movies were released in America last year, so bear with me on that. Hope I haven't bored you to death, and I hope you can understand what I'm saying. So anyways, see you next time.